Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Arena of Schalke and the Matchday -1 press conference with England coach Gareth Southgate and captain Harry Kane. Can I please remind you to keep your phones silent, raise your hand before asking a question and wait for the microphone, and questions to be asked in one of the interpreted languages, so today Serbian, German or English. Introduce yourselves, please, and your media outlet. And I think we can now begin with Sky. Yes.
Kaveh Solokol from Sky Sports News. Just a question for Gareth. Gareth, Serbia are a very talented but unpredictable side. What kind of challenge are you expecting from them tomorrow night?
Very tough. They have good individual players, fantastic collective spirit, dangerous forwards. So we know that this is a really difficult opening game for us, and we've got to be, we've got to play at our very best to win the game.
Yeah, lady, second row. Thank you.
Harry, in Russia ahead of the World Cup, you announced that you were going for the Golden Boot. You have the Golden Boot. But does it mean as much this year when there's so much goal-scoring talent in your team? Does it fade into the shadows of actually winning this competition? And how hard was it to sit on the bench at Bayern Munich at the end of the season? How much are you raring to go? In German, please, Jacob.
No, of course, I'm really looking forward to this tournament. I think, I think back in 2018, of course, the Golden Boot was an amazing achievement. But as always, that's a consequence of hopefully winning games and trying to win the European Championship is what we're trying to do. If I win the Golden Boot along the way, then fantastic, and it means I'm obviously helping my team. But we have some great goal scorers in the team, players who are definitely on form, who've had fantastic seasons. So now it's about taking that into this major tournament. So we're just excited to get going tomorrow.
Poštovanje, Vladimir Tomković, Dnevne novine i portal Informer iz Beograda. Ako može po jedno kratko pitanje za obojicu, za gospodina Southgate-a. Vi i ja smo kratko razgovarali pre 6 meseci posle žreba u Hamburgu i tad ste mi rekli da ćete možda pozvati vašeg bivšeg saigrača Savu Miloševića da vam otkrije neki detalj u vezi sa...
We've lost the
I had no translation there, apologies.
So can you please repeat the question?
Jel može? Ne može. Može? Jel imate prevod? Mogu da...
No, it's not translating. Maybe can we move to an English question and then we'll try and fix it? Yeah?
Arilas from TV2 Norway. Question for Gareth Southgate. I read in The Guardian that they said you're entering the age of unreason where you can't win even if you win. They called it the Gareth conundrum. Fail to win the Euros and you'll be cast as a fraud. Win and you'll be jeered for not winning more. How do you reflect on that and how you're perceived yourself in England?
Well, I'd rather win and give that bit a go. I've been in the job for 8 years, so I understand the landscape. Everybody that's been in the job has experienced the same thing, and I just try now to prepare the team in the best possible way, and we're really looking forward to the beginning of the tournament.
So they're fixing the interpretation system, so for the moment we just keep the questions in English. Yeah.
Olof Lund, TV4 Sweden. Question for Harry about winning. There's been a lot about talk about winning titles, not in Bayern Munich, now with England. What would it mean for you to win something finally, and hopefully with England?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. I love playing for my country. I love playing for England. It means the world to me every time I step out onto the pitch wearing the shirt. So I think to win a major tournament with England would be, one of the pinnacles of anyone's career. So that's the aim. For me personally, obviously the trophies haven't quite happened yet, but it just makes me more determined and more hungry to go out there and do that. And that starts with, this summer we have a good opportunity. We have a lot of hard work in front of us. But yeah, that opportunity is there, and I'm looking forward to trying to make it happen.
Yeah, BBC Sport.
Andy Swiss, BBC News. Gareth, you'll be aware that England are among the favourites for the Euros. A lot of people are tipping them. How confident are you that your players can deal with that expectation, and how excited are you to be leading them into this competition?
Well, hugely excited. To lead your country into a major tournament is an amazing honour, great privilege. So for me, that's just as exciting as it was ahead of Russia, if not more so. Yeah, in terms of our standing, I think you've already seen Germany play the way they did last night, Spain in the first half today. There are a lot of good teams in this tournament, and we have to be exceptional to progress firstly through the group and then the opportunity to go further. So our focus is on qualifying from the group. You have to, when you're trying to achieve exceptional things, you have to break it down into manageable chunks, and the first priority is get out of the group and then work from there.
Hi, Henry Winter, World Soccer. Harry, we always ask this going into a tournament, what's the ball like? Is it flighty? Have you had a chance to sort of work with it at length?
Yeah, I mean, I like the ball. I think it's a good ball for strikers. It's quick. Yeah, when you strike it, it stays hit. So, yeah, obviously I've had a bit of a different experience with a different ball in the Bundesliga. The Allianz ball we're used to in Europe, and obviously I played with the Nike ball in the Premier League. But yeah, for me personally, I think it's better for the strikers or the goal scorers than it is for the goalkeepers. So I'm not going to complain about that.
So Serbian is now working, so we can go back. Yeah, the back row.
Thank you very much. My second try, Vladimir Novkovic, from the Portal Informer from Belgrade. Does interpreting function right now? I will address two brief questions for Mr. Southgate. We have spoken 3 months ago, briefly, after Hamburg, and you've said that you will call your former co-player, Sava Milosevic, to give you some details about the Serbian team. Have you done that? What has he told you? And for Mr. Kane, the players, very often, before very important matches, they say that in their heads they develop various films and various scenarios, if you can say so. In which scenario will you be defeated from Serbia, and how are you gonna react to that? Or is defeat from Serbia something that you haven't thought of?
No, I don't think you look that far ahead. Of course, we want to win the game tomorrow evening, but in a game of football, anything can happen. There can be highs, there can be lows throughout the 90 minutes, and that's what you have to prepare for. Of course, we want to have a fantastic game and play in the style that we want to play, and without the ball be aggressive and how we've been over the years. But yeah, as we've all seen in football, anything can happen. So we just have to prepare for everything, and hopefully we can go out there tomorrow night and show a good side to ourselves.
Sorry,
yeah, Gareth.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't spoken with Savo. We're very good friends, but I wouldn't put him in a position where he had to betray his country. So, yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't be giving me any inside information about the team.
Hello, Davide Chinellato with Gazzetta in Italy. Question for Harry. Harry, England is seen as the favourite to win it all. Do you feel the pressure to win? Do you feel your fans at home saying it's coming home, and all the expectations you have?
No, I think every tournament poses different expectations. I think we've earned the right to be, I guess, classed as one of the favourites, but we look at ourselves individually and as a team. And going into this tournament, we know in past tournaments we've done a lot of things well, and we've made the country proud, and we've had good tournaments, but ultimately we're here to win it, and there will be nothing better for us and the nation itself if we do that. But like the boss said earlier, there's a lot of top teams. First and foremost is our focus tomorrow night, and obviously the group stage, and then from there, we know how tough it was to get to the final a few years ago, and we're going to have to do that and even more if we want to achieve that, and hopefully one step further this year.
James Robson, Associated Press. Hi, Gareth. You've seen a lot of players, England players over the years who've been built up. I wonder what you think about the sort of expectations that are being placed on Jude Bellingham. He's just done an advert that adds to the hype. Dragan Stojkovic just said that he thinks he'll be a golden ball winner in the future as well. I just wonder, are you concerned about that, or given how he behaves, how he's active with Real Madrid, is he just on a bit of a different level where it just won't get to him?
Well, from my perspective, he's a young player and one of a number of very important players in the team. So we shouldn't be expecting him to carry the load for the rest of the team. I think in this team that load is spread. He has a fantastic mindset. He has a tremendous drive and ability to affect big games. And yeah, he has coped with everything incredibly well at such a young age. Coming into our squad, playing in a World Cup, moving to the biggest club in the world. He's adapted to all of those things. I'm sure not all of that has been straightforward, but outwardly he copes with that brilliantly. And yeah, all I would say is that we have a responsibility as a team for all of our players. We're a collective. We'll succeed if everybody plays their part, the whole squad. So it's great to have some talented players that we have, but the onus is on everybody to do their part.
I will speak in Serbian.
Dusan Ustevic from Portal Telegraph. I would like to know if you consider that Serbia will start with two strikers tomorrow, as normally with Vlahovic and Mitrovic, or do you think that the main coach of Serbia will choose a more defensive approach and choose some of the best strikers, but also increase the defense and the middle?
Yes, it's difficult to be 100% certain. Dragan has different options. We're aware they can play in different systems, and we know that the strikers they have can cause problems to any team. So I think they clearly have a settled way of playing. There are clear strengths to the team. We have to be able to deal with all of those strengths and also try to exploit the weaknesses, which of course every team in the tournament has some weaknesses. So that's the role of our work during the week, really.
Hi, Eric Peters, Bill Germany. Question for Harry. So Gareth revealed that he's learning German. So can you teach him anything?
I don't think I can teach him anything. I can tell him it's going to be difficult to learn for sure. But yeah, no, I wish him all the best because it's not easy, and obviously I've been doing it for a little while now, and yeah, of course still finding it tough. But yeah, hopefully maybe next season we can exchange a few words to each other in German.
Maybe another one. How impressed were you with the German team yesterday? And so both strikers scored. Who you prefer to watch, Havertz or Füllkrug?
Well, that's not my decision, thankfully. No, obviously they had a fantastic game. I've got a lot of teammates playing in that team, and yeah, I'm sure they're obviously delighted with their start to the tournament, and yeah, they've got some fantastic players. So yeah, I wish them all the best. But of course, my focus is on England and our game tomorrow night against Serbia.
One more question in Serbian, please.
Greetings to everyone. Dragan Čiča from Sports Club Belgrade. For the head coach Southgate, Mr. Stojkovic said that his team will be attacking England. Would that be a surprise for you if that's going to be so? And for Mr. Kane, what do you see as the greatest quality of this current Serbian team? Thank you.
Yeah, I think like the boss said earlier, I think they have a lot of good qualities. I think some great attacking players who are known to be goal scorers around their clubs. So, yeah, they pose a lot of threats. And I think without the ball, we expect an aggressive team, a team who defend really well. So, yeah, I think, you know, we're expecting a really tough game tomorrow night. And like the boss said, if we don't quite get it right, we can be in for a really tough game. So, yeah, we'll focus on ourselves as we always do. But, of course, we know that Serbia pose a lot of good threats as well.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me for Serbia to attack. They get numbers up the pitch quickly, and they can break quickly. They get the ball forward quickly at times. They, of course, can build up in a more patient way as well. So they have a nice mix to their game. But no, I don't expect them to sit and defend all night. I don't think that would be the way that the coach wasn't the way he played, and I wouldn't expect it to be the way he is as a coach.
Hi, both. James Ollie from ESPN. Just two, if I can, quickly. Gareth, is everyone available tomorrow, team-wise?
Everyone's available. We have a decision whether Luke is possible to use from the bench or not. But everybody is trained today and is available.
Thank you. And there's been a lot of talk about potential security issues around this game. It's been deemed a high-risk fixture. What's your message to supporters coming here tomorrow?
I expect everybody to enjoy the football. I've been fortunate to be involved in a lot of tournaments and travelled to other tournaments that I wasn't directly involved in. They're great carnivals of football, opportunity to see another part of the world, meet people from other parts of the world, have a brilliant time. So, yeah, everybody, I'm sure, is coming to do exactly that. The whole of Europe can come together and celebrate together the brilliant game that we're involved in and support their team and get behind their team, but of course meet other people and have a fantastic months together.
Thank you.
It's fine, yeah. If the mic is here, it's easier.
Simon Peach from PA. Just a question, Gareth. Obviously, there's a very exciting time at the moment, but there's been some tragic news today that Millwall goalkeeper Matthias Sarkic has died and Kevin Campbell's passed away. So, with Kevin, just your reflections and memories of, I guess, coming up against him quite a lot and things like that, and just overall your take.
Yeah, well, I know that some of our players and staff actually played and worked with Matthias as well. So that both pieces of news were received with shock and great sadness. Yeah, so clearly those boys that played with him feeling that even more. Yeah, Kevin is the same age as me. I remember him being in Arsenal's youth team similar time and playing against him in reserve team football, and then of course you play against each other so often over the years. Hugely popular man. His son's also been in our junior pathway as well, so yeah, our thoughts are very much with his family at this time, and I think some of the tributes have been fabulous. Clearly people who knew him better than I did talking about what an amazing character. So yes, it's a very, very sad day.
Vegard Agstad, VG Norway. Question for Harry. Jude Bellingham mentioned earlier here, great season in terms of goal scoring as yourself. How do you work with him? Can you give us a little bit of insight in what's happening in the opponent's box and around? Are you bossing him around, telling him where to go, or how do you work together to make yourselves even more dangerous together?
Yeah, I think we do that in the on the training pitch. You know, we try and be in scenarios that we'll be in the game, whether that's on the halfway line with the movements that we make, or in the opposition box. All over the pitch. I think, of course, Drew's a fantastic player, and he has a really good brain in terms of his movement and the spaces that he sees. And I think we complement each other really well, whether one of us is dropping deep, the other one running in behind, and vice versa. So, an amazing player to play with. He likes to get in the box, he likes to affect games and score goals, which is always important for an attacking midfielder. So, I think the more we train with each other, the more we play with each other, hopefully that relationship can get even stronger, but it feels strong already.
Question for Gareth. You obviously have a lot of difficult decisions to make ahead of a game like this. How much do you listen to your players? How involved are they in the decision making?
I think we have a very open relationship with all of the players. We've actually put a small leadership group together for this tournament now with Harry, Kyle Walker, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham. Because there's a different dynamic to this group. There's a lot of younger players, and I want to make sure that the voices of the younger players that I'm really in touch with that as well. I don't want to leave here with any stone unturned. I don't want to have missed anything, and it's always important to know what the players are thinking. They have good views, they have good experiences, and also there will be some decisions that I will take without talking to any of them.
Hello, I'm Pierre from L'Equipe. Just a question for Gareth. It could be potentially maybe your last tournament as England manager. Does it change anything on the way you prepare this competition, and does it add more pressure on your shoulders or not? Thank you.
Well, I hate to put pressure on all the coaches, but it could be the last tournament for all of them. So this is the world we're in. I'm probably more relaxed about it because I've been to 3. I know exactly what it involves. I know the events you have to deal with, the path you have to navigate. And I'm very fortunate to have very good players with a great spirit, great staff that work with me throughout. So we're really looking forward to that challenge, and I guess you're even more determined to make sure that we don't miss anything, as I said earlier, and that we're giving ourselves the very best chance of winning.
Hi, Staban Maricic, BBC Serbia. A question for both of you. Could we get a couple of sentences about Tadic and Mitrovic? They've played for years in the Premier League. They've left somewhat a legacy there. So what do you see? Is there strong signs, and how do you plan to stop them? Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think really good players. I think Mitrovic is obviously a goal scorer. He's proven that throughout his whole career for both club and for country. So yeah, obviously as a striker myself, you appreciate other strikers who score a lot of goals. And with Tadic, yeah, a fantastic player, technically really gifted, can hurt you with the final pass, the final cross, and obviously the finish as well. So yeah, 2 players that we're obviously aware of and we know could pose big threats tomorrow night.
Yeah, not much more I can add really. Tadic is obviously, we've followed him in England but also at Ajax, and he was in the team that Spurs played in that famous game. So he, very good technical player. With Mitrovic, I think he really knows his craft. He knows the areas of the pitch that he's particularly dangerous, and yeah, he's exceptional at pulling off defenders, taking chances in the air, holds the play up well. So he's an outstanding goal scorer, but they're not the only two players in the Serbian team that we have to make sure that we're ready to deal with. They have some excellent players right across the pitch.
And the last question, I think, Paul Joyce, please.
Paul Joyce, Times. Gareth, Jude's elevation into that leadership group feels a very natural step. What do you expect from him when you're speaking to him about that? What does the role entail?
Well, I want the opinions of the four boys, but also they're involved with different age groups in the squad, so they'll be able to pick up what's going on with the different areas of the squad. We've got 26. It's not easy to keep track of how everybody is every day, and I think you want to open up that dialogue. Sometimes with younger players, they're normally going to be a little bit more reluctant, perhaps, to approach the head coach or manager and talk about what they're thinking. So you want a sense check of what's going on the ground. And I think for those two boys, they're leaders. The team is taking on, or the squad has taken on, a younger dynamic, and so important that they start to embrace more responsibility in those areas. It shouldn't just be for the older players to lead. A lot of our younger players have a lot of caps and a lot of good big match experience. So I could have put more into the group, but I think 4 is enough. And yeah, we'll meet regularly and feedback on everything, basically.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You are old. That's a fact of it, I'm afraid.
Can I just let
Thank
you know
not
that
as old as me, obviously.
the media hub will be open today until 10:30, and then we'll open again tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.